William Saville-Kent is significant because he's the Barrier Reef's first coral scientist. He's the first person to describe the corals, to describe the underwater fish, to describe the whole, what we call now the biota, the ecosystem of the Barrier Reef. But he's also the first person to present these visually to the world. He is a pioneering and brilliant photographer who photographs living coral reefs when the tide is low. It's the only time you can see them, when the tide is super low. And he gets these wonderful photographs, which he complements, because of course the photographs are in black and white. He complements them by the most astonishing paintings, really. They're lithographs at the back of, which are published together at the back of this gorgeous book that he produces. That is his significance as a scientist. I think it's one of the moments when consciousness is carried to the world. I mean, he is the person who every scientist reads, every coral scientist and every scientist who is going to come to the reef. It becomes the formative book. But it's also a book which is, in some ways, a bestseller, I mean, given its great cost, because it's so beautiful, because for the first time, the gorgeousness of coral can be seen by people without actually plunging their heads underwater in a tropical place. And it's quite an extraordinary thing. But it's also wonderful because he is an artist. And one of the things that goes, really grabs you about Saville-Kent is this scientist who's been very precise and very bottled up, releases his artistic brilliance in this book. And he releases it in a way, it's a psychic release, because this man has been carrying an incredible burden all of his life, the burden of having participated secretly in a murder back in England of his own half-brother, aged 3.5. His sister took the rap for it. This man has carried this guilt all his life. And the Barrier Reef, this moment of being able to find himself both as a scientist and as an artist, is his redemption. This is a place where he can go into a kind of wilderness and escape from all his guilts, his fears, his trepidations, the kinds of things that have haunted him, and just do what he wants to do, which is do science and do art. The Barrier Reef gives him that sense of freedom.